Hello, my friend. Look who I have caught up with today. None other than I'm just like, wait a minute. I'm just pausing on how to introduce this lady. She is just a phenomenal woman with great capacity on multiple levels. But I work with her as a client, and she's a coach. But she's also a pastor, and then she got a past life that she done whipped into this life. Okay, all right. So why don't we just get started? Coach Deborah Gaston, how are you today, ma'am?
I am doing well, Dr. Jones. How are you?
If I told you the truth, you might think I was drinking caffeine or something. I am doing great, ma'am. I am doing great. I want to thank you for the privilege and for taking time out to talk with me and to hang out with me today. I wanted to just come in and just introduce you, or to just because you're such a phenomenal gift and a woman of great wisdom and great worth, and even some other things that start with a W. Okay, folks, I'll tell y'all. Okay, she's just a wealthy woman, right? And so I just know God is doing great things in your life, and you're living out that scripture in Deuteronomy where He gives us the power to get wealth. And so I'm just so excited to have this time to talk with you. So tell us, just basically introduce yourself, and tell us a little bit about who is Deborah Gaston.
Well, first of all, thank you for taking your time to interview me. I am honored. I count it quite a privilege. And a little bit about me. Well, you've already know my name. I'm Deborah Gaston. I am a former English teacher, have a degree in journalism, turned blogger, best-selling author, book
Whoa,
coach.
whoa, 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 y'all. I ain't rude or nothing, when I do my interviews. But when I get people, when I'm interviewing somebody, and they go to blah, 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 and they go to running stop signs here, that ain't right. That's not right. Now, when she said English teacher, I got nervous because, see, I made an F in English. I thought she'd go pull out that red pen or something, like, woo. Y'all remember when they used to pull out the red pen, I guess that must have been child abuse or student abuse. And they don't. They don't let
Traumatize some folks, with the red.
got that red F. But so, Coach Gaston, you said you're a former English teacher. How much? Tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, I spent actually 30 years in the classroom.
Whoa.
Yes, 30 years. I actually got to retire like at really young because I started right out of college. So I had my 30 years and taught middle school, seventh graders for the longest, high school, I taught ninth grade, 10th grade, every grade except seniors. I didn't have seniors, but anything from 7 through 12, pretty much covered it. I've taught English as a second language to Chinese speaking students. I created a writing lab in one of the schools. The principal just gave me carte blanche with this computer lab. I was the advisor for a school newspaper at the last school that I taught at, which happened to be my alma mater. I graduated, and then 20 years later, I'm back there as a teacher.
Folks, I got to bring out the flag again. Hey, listen, folks, this is somebody y'all want to jump in her box and get to know her and get to work with her now while her prices are, where they are now, because they won't be there long. And if you're looking for somebody to help you, now, did you hear her say she did the newsletter or something she said about the school newsletter? Now, coaches, listen to me. If you are building an online business, you need a newsletter, because the newsletter is going to be the source of your recurring revenue. You're going to build a recurring revenue model, and it's called a continuity program. You better listen, okay? I'm just saying, you don't have to listen, but now you're going to want somebody like this to help you with your newsletter. Okay, Coach Dan, what did you say about a newsletter?
I was the advisor for the school newspaper, but I also started a newsletter at my church, the church that I grew up in, and then the church that I'm attending currently. We did a quarterly publication, and I was the editor of that as well. So,
English teacher, newspaper, publisher, or whatever, creator, organizer, editor, newsletter editor for the church, and then now talk to me about this journalism background.
I actually have my bachelor of science degree in communication arts with a concentration in journalism and public relations. I always wanted to write. I think I've wanted to write since I could hold a pencil and put words on paper. And so my first choice was, I'm going to go into journalism. I'm going to be I'm going to be the Black Barbara Walters. I'm going to just travel around the world and interview potentates and kings and all of these wonderful people. But God had another plan for me. So his steps led me into the classroom, which was absolutely fulfilling for me, but I was still able to write. And so I used those skills that I've learned from my journalism and public relations training with my clients and so many other avenues that I've been able to create because of those skills and the background that I've had.
Where did we get connected? How did we get connected? How did our paths cross? Do you remember?
We connected in Clubhouse, Dr. Jones. You were a good one. I had just joined Clubhouse and I was kind of scrolling through, and you popped up with, I think you were doing like 10 mistakes authors make. And I said, well, let me see what this guy's talking about. And I went in the room and it was just an instant connection.
So the presence of the Lord was there. Was that what she said? The presence of the Lord is here. The presence of the Lord is here. I can feel it. Okay. So Coach Gaston, thank you. Now you're giving me your background. Now tell us what you're doing now. Who is this person now?
Okay, this person now is also wears many hats. I am a business owner, entrepreneur, author, still blogger. I'm a pastor, teacher, will always be a teacher by calling, by training. And I help aspiring authors, kingdom-minded entrepreneurs, ministers who want to share their story, who want to share their expertise, their wisdom and revelation in a book. My passion is to help them get those books out by taking them from blank page to bestseller, walk them through the entire writing and self-publishing process so that they can use those books to build their business or grow their ministry or leave a legacy. And what God has spoken to me over the last few months is that I take it as a charge now that I have been charged to help kingdom authors and scribes write the books that will change mindsets, shift culture, and advance the kingdom of God in every sphere of influence.
I know that we ain't supposed to talk about who our client list is and all this kind of stuff because, people, got all kind of little privacy things. But now the thing about it, if you help somebody write a book and if they say thank you in the book, then that's public knowledge, right? Am I correct? Now, y'all, listen to this now. This lady done work with people from she's worked with people of all sorts. Talk to me a little bit about the type of people you have worked with, people you have helped publish their book. Like I'm looking at a book right there. Something faith, same faith, same God.
Same faith, same God.
Tell me about that book.
This is the book by my pastor, my apostle and pastor, John W. Stevenson. He has an incredible story, incredible relationship with God, and he wanted to share this message. He had been preaching it for years, and we were able to sit down and craft this incredible book. It became a bestseller. He has written 4 other books, but this one has gotten the most response. And I have to kind of think it's because I had something to do with it. One of the things that he says is that he believes that it is what it is, and people are receiving it the way they are because I pushed him to share more of himself in this book than he has in his past books.
Whoa, so you know how to get it out. You know how to pull it out of them. Okay, so folks, she helped pastors. So pastor, if you're out there and you're looking for somebody to help you, the lady, she knows how to, get it out. She's helped to her pastor. She can help you. And she's also a pastor herself. So talk to me now. Now, I know somebody you work with, and we're probably going to call his name, some lawyer out of Atlanta, Georgia. You helped. Talk to me about this lawyer out of Atlanta, Georgia.
Are we calling his name or we just
yeah. We're gonna call him out. We're gonna call him out.
Oh, Mr. Otis Weldon was one of my favorites to work with just because he's funny. I mean, he's just funny. And so the privilege of sitting down and talking with him and crafting his story into a book that I believe will impact lives was a phenomenal opportunity for me. He would say things to me that would I'd ask questions and he'd kind of dodge them. And then he'd say, she's going to think I'm hiding something from her. She keeps asking me questions. And I said, you don't have to tell me anything you don't want to tell me, but I have a degree in journalism. I've learned how to ask questions. So I'm going to come back around to this question. The joy of working with him, when we first spoke, he said he wanted to write. There's several questions that I asked my authors. And he said that he wanted to write a book for veterans dealing with PTSD by sharing his journey of overcoming PTSD. But the more we talked about his story from the time, well, from childhood until now, I could just see the hand of God, the grace of God on his life in every aspect of his life, because this man should not be alive. I said, so PTSD is a part of a larger story. This is the grace of God that has kept you and covered you and healed you and protected you all of your life. And we want people to benefit from all of that, not just the PTSD.
Mm-hmm. So all you attorneys and military veterans and professional guys, if you're looking for somebody to help you get your story out, you're sitting here watching this video, just ease on into Coach Gaston's DM. I'm going to ask her to give her, matter of fact, if somebody wants to reach you, what's the best place for them to find you?
They can go to my website, deborahgaston.com. They want to.
How do you spell that?
DeborahGaston.com. If they want to set up some time to talk about all the possibilities of working together and what their book can do for them, just go to deborahgaston.com/booking, and it takes you right to my calendar. You can set up a time and we will sit and chat about all the possibilities that await you as a published author.
And not only as a published author, she's going to get you the bestseller. Now, that's a game changer, too. All right. So we got pastors, ministers, teachers, and church leaders. You're looking for somebody you've been praying, talking about, dear God, send me a book coach that I can trust and work with. You're looking at it right there. Now we got lawyers and military veterans and professional men. You've been wondering somebody to help you. She's helped Mr. Otis Weldon. Now, Coach Gaston, what did Otis call you? Otis is a buddy of mine, and I know Otis out in Atlanta, Georgia. Otis taught me so much about life, a phenomenal friend, and just a stand-up guy. I mean, Otis Weldon, he's just a phenomenal guy. Taught me so much. Now he called you. He kind of changed your name a little bit, didn't he? Or pronounced it differently.
He studied Hebrew. My name is Hebrew, and so he said, "Well, if you were in Israel, they would call you Deborah." So he always called me Deborah instead of Deborah. And I allow him to do that. I don't let everybody else do that, but he could call me Deborah.
He's such a brilliant guy, isn't he? That dude, he's so smart and well-read and just a very, very sharp guy. And I'm just honored to have him as a friend. Okay, so now we've talked about 2 of your client types. Now let's just go. There's one more, and this is a young lady here. I mean, she's a mother and a phenomenal young lady. So tell me about that. Tell me about this lady here that you've been helping. Tell me something about her. This lady you've been working with.
Someone that you're familiar with, Mrs. Loretta Jones. I've been able to help her with share her story. Again, a phenomenal story of just getting healed and free from past traumas. And working with her has been a delight. She is, again, a mother of twins, and they're judges, and she is just so loving of the Lord. She loves the word. She loves God. She loves you. And so she's been a wonder to work with as well, to just kind of take her story that, again, she's been trying to get out for quite some time now. And we've been able to craft that into a story that I believe she's pleased with now. And we are in the process of formatting it and getting it ready to be released this year.
Oh, that is so exciting. That is so exciting. And I'm excited. And I just want to say right now, thank you so much, because this has been something that in Loretta's heart and she's been wanting to do. And I've watched her just kind of like push past the fear, push past the anxiety, push past the nervousness to get her story done. And you've been right there alongside of her, helping her to get that done. And I just can't thank you enough. I can't thank you enough. So, Coach Gaston, why do you coach? Why do you work with people? Why do you like people to go from this whole idea of concept to creation, blank page to bestseller?
I think there are several reasons, but primarily because I believe this is what God has called me to do. Um, in terms of helping people avoid some of the mistakes that I made when I published my first book, and because I see the wealth and the in the people that needs to be released that can help someone else. Mine is really about helping people tell a story that will transform lives. And being able to walk them through that journey to holding a book in their hand and seeing the joy that comes from that finished product. There's nothing like that, especially if they've been struggling to get it done for years and years and years, and they can see it come together within months. There's this excitement, and it thrills me to be able to help them feel that sense of accomplishment.
Mm-hmm. Why did you choose to join a high ticket mastermind class? Why did you join my high ticket mastermind class? You're one of my, I mean, I love all my clients and I think the world of them, but I've told you privately, and I don't mind telling you publicly, that you're the picture of an ideal client. And I'm honored to be your coach, and I don't take it lightly. So why did you decide to do that? Why did you join a high ticket mastermind program?
I knew that there were holes that I needed, especially as it comes to building a business. And one of the things that just really impressed me after I had gone through the bestseller overnight with you was one morning you just called, you texted me and you said you were out walking and you were praying for me, and you wanted to know if I had any specific requests. And that sealed it. It was like, this is the coach, because he is a man of God first and foremost. But I also understood that if I was going to be able to really help people and grow a business and make some money doing it, because we were talking earlier, and I said, I'm one of those people that gives it all away. So, and then God actually told me that I've given you this, stop giving everything away, because this is something that I've given you to bring increase into your life. So I needed accountability, and I needed someone who had been where I wanted to go in order to glean from the wisdom and their journey as well. And so that's why I connected, and I figured, if I could invest at a certain level, then I could also expect others to invest in me at that level as well. Um, and so it's been a wonderful journey so far.
I was about to ask, what has that journey been like? Talk to me about the mindset growth and becoming this coach that you have become. I know it has not always been easy, because I tell people that there are 4 stages you go through: excitement, frustration, exploration, quit, or recommit. Okay. So you get excited, you get frustrated, you start looking around, and then you're going to do one or two things: quit or recommit. I've seen you work through those stages. Can you talk to me about the mindset stretches that a person has to go through when they're in a program like this and working with a coach and so forth?
What's really interesting is that I take my authors through this whole mindset thing as well. But then when it came to me, I was like, okay, I see what they're going through, because I'm experiencing all of these things of this doesn't feel comfortable to me, getting out, having to get out of my comfort zone, having to discover that my own worth and the value that I bring to other people because of what I know and what I can impart to them, and not always seeing that as valuable as it is, because you're always talking to me, raise your prices, you got to raise your prices, you got to raise your prices, and to stop thinking about how much I think somebody else can pay, and just say this is what it's worth, this is what I'm charging, and then just sit back and wait. I learned that from you, Dr. Jones. Sit back and This is the price. Just sit back and wait. But yeah, it's been a stretch for me because technically I'm a pretty introverted person. I don't like to hound people. I was telling someone was a part of a gathering I had a few days ago, and she'd been really, really disappointed with people and this whole publishing process, and very hurt and distrusting. And I said, so I'm not going to let you go. I'm not beyond stalking you. So just no, I have your phone number, I got your email address. I will stalk you because I need to see you healed and get these books out. And I think that kind of doggedness I've learned from you as well, not to let go so easily, but then to know when to let go.
Ooh.
As well, because I tend to get a little really connected and probably sometimes more invested in people than they are in themselves. So I've had to learn that balance between I want to help you because for me, almost anything that I'm doing is still ministry. Yeah, I'm going to get paid for it and I'm going to get paid for it, but it's still ministry. And sometimes it's beyond what I'm seeing with a lot of people that are drawn to me. It's beyond the writing of the book. There's the need for transformation and healing in them as they are working through the book.
That's so rich. That's so rich. So now I got something else I want to ask you. And you don't have to give me all the details, but I need some deets. As the grandkids say, you got to give me some deets. Oh, so these grandkids are something else. Love them, love them. Your accountant made a statement to you. You shared it with us in either in a Zoom or on a webinar, and he made a little statement about your accountant. You mind commenting on that for me?
Yeah, I was having my taxes done this year, and he looked at the fact that I'm retired and what I get from my state teacher's retirement and what I had as my annual income. And he said, you are in six figures. That does not happen to retired people. What are you doing? And I hadn't even realized that I had crossed that threshold, that he was amazed at my numbers for someone who was retired. And he's looking at the business and he's telling me, now you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this. So for next year to help out a little bit more with the tax aspect of it. But I was amazed and he was blown away because he's been doing my taxes for a few years. And when he looked at the numbers, it's like, this is not normal.
So are you glad that you have signed up with what do you think about your decision that you made in Clubhouse now? Are you glad you came into Clubhouse?
I am very glad that I came into Clubhouse. I'm very glad that I connected with not just any coach, but connected with you, that I made that investment because I can see growth, not only financially, but just in so many other ways as well.
Yeah. Coach Gaston, anything you want to share that I didn't ask you about? Anything you want to just talk to us about? Hey, I want to know when can I want to know about your YouTube channel, and I want to know you do a teaching online, and people can find the recording and the replay on YouTube. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay, so tell me about that and anything else you want to share me as we close.
My primary calling is that of teacher. And I love the Word of God. I want to see people's lives transformed by it because I'm a testimony of how transformative it is. And so every Wednesday, I do a sharing. I have the first book that I published was called God Speaks, Words for the Journey from the Father's Heart. And then I started a blog, God Speaks Today. And so out of that, the Lord was kind of leading me to just share words of encouragement, things that he was sharing with me, to share with other people that would shore them up in the word. And I started doing those lives every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern time. And I record live on Facebook and live on YouTube, but those videos are out there on YouTube. You can just go to Deborah Gaston, my channel, and you should be able to find those as well.
Speak to that aspiring author or that person who's at the point of retirement and they're ready to make a shift, that person that's got a story in them and they know they got, I want to get that message out. Somebody that's watching you right now and they've been like glued to the screen because they want to turn their message into a movement. They want to turn their message into a higher level of ministry. Speak to that person right now in your own way.
You know, and I know there are many out there, scribes, aspiring writers, entrepreneurs, who have this burning desire to write. First, I want to tell you that that desire was planted in you by God. We look at Psalm, I'm always going to give a scripture, and Psalm 34, it says, delight thyself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. That word delight needs to be pliable. So when we're pliable in the hands of the Lord and we find pleasure in him, he puts his desires in our hearts. And so we begin to desire what he wants. So if there's been this desire for years to write a book and you just didn't know how to get it out, or you started and you stalled somewhere in the process and you thought, oh, maybe that's just me and it's not really God. If it's not going away, it's God. And the simplest way to get that done is to just plunge, get rid of all the excuses, get rid of all the silence all the voices in your head that are telling you, who are you to write a book? You don't know how to write a book. You failed English. You can't write a sentence. You don't have a vast vocabulary. Nobody wants to read anything that you wrote. There's at least one person out there who will benefit from your story. And what I have learned about writing that shifted my mindset is that it is an act of worship. It's an act of faith. It's an act of love. It's an act of obedience. It's an act of worship. So for those of us who are part of the kingdom, God is calling you to do that. Just step out into the flow through faith, love, obedience, and worship, and contact me because I can take you through that entire process, make you a best-selling author, show you how to utilize your book, beyond the publication of the book, so that you have greater impact in your sphere of influence. I'm ready to help you.
Oh my Lord, I love it. I love it. There you go, folks. You got her right there. So give me that website again. It's DeborahGaston.com. DeborahGaston.com. Just go there, follow the prompts on the website, DeborahGaston.com. Awesome. Folks, I want to thank y'all for joining us. Go to DeborahGaston.com and get her email, get on her email list, get her, you got a free gift. What's the free gift?
I do. I have a PDF of my best-selling book, From Concept to Creation. It's 7 keys to writing and publishing your book now. It will help you get started on your writing journey. Just go to my website and fill out /gift, and you can download a copy right there.
Oh, you got it all set up like that? DeborahGaston.com /gift. Oh,
Trying, I'm learning from you, Dr. Jones.
Smack. Got it set up. You go now. DeborahGaston.com /gift.
Yes.
Oh my Lord, that is some kind of nice. Hey, folk, I gotta get out of here. The student, become the teacher. Look out.